Kamala Harris, in my opinion, is one of the most disgusting politicians that I've seen in quite a while when it comes to her dealings with the black community. This woman lies to black America like no one that I've ever seen, and she will literally say anything to black Americans if she feels that it will gain her and the Democratic Party support. Now, I could go through a laundry list of things that she has lied about in order to gain our support, but one of the most disgusting lies that she's told was when she sat up with a straight face and told black Americans that she grew up celebrating Kwanzaa and that she continues to still do so today. Mind you, this was her Indian family that she grew up with, who all immigrated to the United States straight from India, and this is her current family today. Yet she wants us to believe that she grew up celebrating Kwanzaa with her family and still does till this day.
Happy holidays, everyone. I wanted to take a moment to send my warmest wishes to everyone celebrating Kwanzaa. Like so many other holidays, we will be celebrating Kwanzaa a little differently this season in our home.
Oh, really? You'll be celebrating Kwanzaa a little bit differently this year at your home? Okay.
We'll be doing it over Zoom. You know, my sister and I, we grew up celebrating Kwanzaa.
Liar.
Every year, our family and our extended family, we would gather around across multiple generations, and we'd tell stories. The kids would sit on the carpet, and the elders would sit in chairs, and we would light the candles, and of course, afterwards, have a beautiful meal. And of course, there was always the discussion of the 7 principles. And my favorite, I have to tell you, was always the one about self-determination, Kujichagulia. And, you know, essentially it's about be and do. Be the person you want to be and do the things you want to do and do the things that need to be done. It's about not letting anyone write our future for us, but instead going out and writing it for ourselves. And that principle motivates me today as we seek to confront the challenges facing our country and to build a brighter future for all Americans. So to everyone who is celebrating, Happy Kwanzaa from our family to yours.
Once again, this woman will literally say anything, but this time around with Kamala, what she recently said wasn't as much about it being a lie as it was about her simply being disrespectful to the history of the descendants of American slavery. As we've talked about numerous times on this channel, a common practice by the Democratic Party is to consistently make false comparisons between the painful and traumatic history of Black America with whatever the current political issue of the day is. There is also a lot of revisionist history going on now too, where it's becoming more and more common to see these so-called scholarly works pop up, where now many historians, if that's what you want to call them, are finding a way to shoehorn in Asians, Hispanics, and the LGBTQ into the civil rights movement. And before anyone tries to bring up James Baldwin, yes, we all know James Baldwin was LGBTQ. But if you listen to any of his numerous lectures or speeches or even read any of James Baldwin's writings, you will see that Mr. Baldwin was always Black first. Him being LGBTQ was always secondary to him simply being Black and fighting for Black America. But now let's get back to Kamala Harris, because recently she was at the NAACP annual conference to which she was the keynote speaker. And in a very disrespectful fashion, she attempted to compare slavery to the abortion ruling which came down from the Supreme Court.
The United States Supreme Court, the highest court of our land, the former court of Thurgood Marshall, took a constitutional right that had been recognized from the people of America, from the women of America. We know, NAACP, that our country has a history of claiming ownership over human bodies, and today, extremist so-called leaders are criminalizing doctors and punishing women for making health care decisions for themselves.
Now, to some people watching this, you might feel like that wasn't such a big deal, but it was, because when politicians do that, they are insulting your intelligence. They feel that you're too stupid for them to simply explain their position plainly to you. They feel that you're not intelligent enough to get it. Therefore, they resort to pulling to your emotional heartstrings by making false comparisons to slavery, Jim Crow, or the civil rights movement. And this is something that's also done even outside of mainstream politics. I mean, think about it. Over the last decade, how many so-called financial institution or programs have you heard of that find some way to insert Tulsa or Black Wall Street into the name of their institution or program? Now look, I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes, because doing that doesn't necessarily automatically make you some sort of a crook or a scammer. I'm pretty sure there are a small handful of brothers and sisters out here that have done that, and it was genuine as a way of paying homage to those of the past. But by and large, that's done because people think that you're stupid. Because if I don't tie it to something that will emotionally trigger you, then you won't get what I'm trying to do, and therefore you won't support it. But when it comes to politicians, particularly the Democrats, this practice is something that is habitually used. And in my opinion, they should be punished for it. Kamala Harris should be apologizing to the descendants of American slavery in the same way that Jill Biden had to apologize to the Hispanic community after comparing them to breakfast tacos. But unfortunately, we most likely won't see that happen, because why apologize if black folks are just going to vote blue no matter who anyways? As long as we continue to give our votes away for nothing in return by way of concrete transformative legislation, then you can expect to keep getting disrespected. And with all that being said, that does it for today's video. So please make sure you hit that subscribe button as well as the bell notification next to the subscribe button so you can be notified whenever I release a new video. All social media links will be pinned in the comment section below. Please make sure you text tdhiphop to number 33222. That's tdhiphop to number 33222. That way you'll get a direct text notification whenever I release a new video, but it also serves as a protection plan for myself in case YouTube ever gives this channel the axe. I'll be able to send you a direct link to where you can find me next. And last but not least, for those of you who have a love and appreciation for the work that I put in on this channel, the number one way you can show your support is through Patreon. For only $3 a month, that will help put me in position to take TD Hip Hop Media off of YouTube. Remember, the goal is not to grow big on YouTube, but to grow independent of YouTube. And for those who have issues with joining Patreon, you could also hit the join button that's next to the subscribe button, and that way you can become an official channel member for as little as $3 a month as well. And lastly, if you have not already, please make sure you join the emailing list. There is no way that I can go independent of YouTube if I cannot take the audience with me. And the link to that will be pinned in the comment section as well. Thank you for your time, and until the next video, peace.